Well, here we are.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 06.
Cleared for takeoff. Hey, I'm getting on with it today. Right, let me zoom out on that. We've got to get going. Yeah, sorry, I'm in a bit of a rush today. Yeah, we just got to go. No information. No, right, welcome to flight 87 of 210. This is Benin to Nigeria in capitals. Porto-Novo to Abuja. Abuja. What else? Flight time is expected to be about 50 minutes. I've already obviously set up the plane and everything. I'm on time. Time is very limited here. Yeah, we're currently at 12:05 and I've got till 1 o'clock. So I've got exactly 55 minutes for a 50-minute flight. So yeah, it's bang on the limit of me just about having enough time to get this one done. So yeah, we'll go to the end of the runway here, turn around. What else? Yeah, 50-minute flight heading northeast. What else to say? What else do I usually say? I don't really know. I've just got to get on with it. I don't know what I'm going to do as regards to like in-flight entertainment, but we'll have time to think about that once I'm up there. Once I'm up at cruising altitude, because it's going to be, what, 20 minutes up, 20 minutes across. Or 20 minutes up, 15 minutes cruising, 20 minutes down, something like that. But we've just got to get on with it. So all flaps working and everything. We're heading out roughly in the right direction as well, so I'll just put it to a halt there. Cabin crew seats for takeoff then, and what I will do is just zoom out on here. We will fly over Porto-Novo actually on the way out. I don't need to be zoomed out that much because we still want to be, yeah, right. Okay, let's get this one off the ground. Here we go then. We survived the night flight last night. And we are now on our way to Abuja, Nigeria. Let's go. Looks like quite a short runway as well, but should be fine. Weather looking clear. Flight 87 of 210. V1. Rotate. Gear up. Flap 0 and a turn.
123.1 at 195.195.
And we're on our way. Takeoff time 7 minutes past 12. So I've got just about enough time to do this. So that over there is Porto-Novo. So this was as close as we were going to get to the capital of Benin. I guess us flying over it as well is just a little nod to the fact that, well, we couldn't land bang on city centre, but there it is. That over there is Porto-Novo. Fact. So listen, we got pretty close. We got within a few miles, and so that was it. Whoa, a bit steep here, aren't we? A bit steep. As I switch over to autopilot, it might swerve a bit to the left, but a bit steep. We'll just try and bring the nose down slightly before we switch over to autopilot imminently. Okay, here comes the transition at 10,000 feet. Might swerve to the left, swerve to the right. Well, you do what you want. There we go. Come down on the power. Zoom out on here. Yeah, so we're heading inland for this one. We're leaving the western coast of Africa behind us now, I think. And yeah, we'll put that on that mode. Right, what are we having on in-flight entertainment wise? We can switch seatbelt signs off now. Everything's under control. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to be leaving this coastline behind us now, so this might be the last look. We've come all the way miles and miles and miles down this coastline, the last sort of 10 flights really. We've been coming down this coastline, and now we deviate off to the northeast and head inland. So there we go. And this is Porto-Novo. So we got pretty close, didn't we? You know, there's no runway strip at all over Porto-Novo. So over there, where we've come from, was as near as we were ever going to get without getting a helicopter in, and I didn't really fancy that. I mean, when we're going to land a helicopter in this lot? Anyway, that's good enough. Listen, we're flying over it. I can say we've done Porto-Novo, BENIN now. Come on. We've flown over it. That's good enough. Okay. And we're heading for Nigeria. Let's go. Right, what are we having on? Let's have a think. Let's have a do. Right, let's have a look. What are we having on here? What are we having on music-wise? 370? No, mate, I'm going 39. Did I watch that? Hang on. Looking for what to put on. Oh, let me hear this then. Let me hear this.
Could cars run out of power in the middle of the straight? Could overtaking become completely artificial? Could the sport actually become more dangerous than ever?
We haven't had the safety demo on, have we?
Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes.
Safety demo
oxygen
comes on at
masks,
28,000
life
feet.
jackets,
Come on.
And the brace position that you must
It's a bad
adopt
omen if I
you
don't
hear
have it on, though.
Brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable exit may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on. We recommend that you keep it.
We're gonna have a look at this video in a minute called "Why F1's 2026 Rules Could Ruin Racing." I'll have my own say on this.
Towards you to start the oxygen.
I want to learn what I can about
your
this.
nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your safety on board can be found in the in-flight magazine. We hope you have a great flight.
You're having a great flight, right? That's out of the way. That's just for continuity's sake. Right, let's have a watch of this. Let's have a listen to this. I'll have my own judgment on this.
Could cars run out of power in the middle of the straight? Could overtaking become completely artificial? Could the sport actually become more dangerous than ever before? These are the questions that fans are asking about Formula One's 2026
More
radical
dangerous.
regulation changes. A rulebook that promises to reinvent F1 from the ground up. The FIA says these changes will make the racing closer, greener and more exciting. But there's a growing fear across the F1 paddock that it might accidentally break one thing that makes it great: pure racing.
Right.
Formula One's entire DNA changes in 2026. For decades, the combustion engine has been king. Now it's sharing the throne.
For
F1 cars
decades,
will
yeah,
move from
forever since
80
day
to
dot.
20 electrical split to a fully 50-50 balance. That means 200
That's not strictly true.
of electrical deployment.
I don't think
triple
it's
what
exactly
drivers have today.
50-50.
And
I've heard they're aiming for 50-50. But it's still going to be slightly more on the combustion side than the electronic side. They're aiming for 50-50. 50-50 sounds good on the adverts. It simplifies it all, but it ain't 50-50. Listen, I'm going to poke holes in this. If he wants to be negative, come on then.
and a strict 8.5 megajoule harvesting limit per lap. If you overuse your energy in the lap, you could find yourself stranded without power halfway down the straight. And when half of your horsepower vanishes, you're not defending.
Well, you got to manage it
you're
well
a
then.
roadkill.
Well,
And
you got to
here's the
manage it
twist.
then.
To survive, drivers will need to rethink racing itself.
Yeah. Battery
This
use
is
is going
where
to be more
things
important.
get messy.
Right.
Because in 2026, managing your car's energy isn't about being efficient, it's about survival. Teams
Right.
are already infamous for telling drivers to lift and coast to save fuel or tires. But now they'll have to manage energy levels
Yeah.
every single lap.
Yeah.
That means slower corner exit, strange gearing choices, and drivers saving power. in
Strange
weird
gearing
parts of the track
choices, yeah.
Just to defend on the straights. Let's
Right.
look at Baku as an example.
Okay.
A driver has used up most of his energy on the main straight.
Right.
It's over 2 kilometers long.
Yeah.
One of the fastest sections on the entire F1 calendar.
That's
By
the
the time he hits
fastest,
the
no?
braking zone for turn 1, his battery is nearly empty.
Right.
Now, in the current era, he'd carry on as normal.
Right.
Brake late and accelerate
Okay.
hard out of the corner.
Out of turn
But in
2.
2026, he can't afford to do that.
Okay.
He has to start thinking differently. Rather
Right.
than taking turn 1 in the traditional second gear,
Okay.
he drops into first gear instead. He holds the revs high, deliberately keeping the engine screaming at the limit.
Why?
Because the car is using combustion engine harder, forcing more kinetic energy harvesting to recharge the battery. Same thing
So they're gonna be
happens
pushing
at
the
turn
combustion
2,
engine
down
harder.
to first gear, running
Revving
at the
it
limit.
through the roof.
Slower through the corners, yes, but the payoff comes later.
Right.
By the time the car reaches the long top speed section that follows,
Yeah.
there's enough electrical energy stored to deploy the maximum
Fucking
power
hell.
again. Under the 2026 rules, this kind of micromanaging could be the difference between holding position or getting completely swallowed on the straight.
Okay.
One wrong calculation.
But everyone's
here and
also
you're
doing the
done.
same, you know
Let's
what I
take
mean?
Montreal's
Everyone's on
circuit
equal
building
playing
as
field, so
another
everyone
case.
else
Coming out
is
of
managing the
famous
battery. It's not
airplane
like
leading onto the
one of
back
them's
straight,
managing the
driver
battery, the other
decides to
19 have
save
got
more energy
unlimited.
by staying
Everyone's
in
doing the
lower
same.
gear and harvesting heavily through the corner.
So you remember
It's a
that.
deliberate, careful move, but he overdoes it.
Right.
By prioritizing too much harvesting, he exits the corner slower than usual. The driver behind spots the mistake immediately, using his energy to attack down the straight. Within seconds,
This
he's
is Canada.
right on the gearbox of the car ahead and has a huge speed advantage. Not only this put the driver defending at risk here, but now, because the attacker is within the detection gap,
Right, I've got
he will
to.
also have access to the
I've
manual
got to just level out the
override.
plane. Just bear with me. Let me just. We're at cruising altitude now. So. Let me do this. Brief interlude while to just get the plane at the right speed. So I have to set it to 255 and then 259. I have to do it in 2 stages because it goes like 5 knots too fast before it then slows back down. And if I say it straight to 259, it goes like 264 and I go overspeed, overspeed, overspeed. Blow up an engine. Well, I wouldn't, but it's just a bit of a pain in the arse. So I have to deal like this because look, it doesn't stop at 255. It goes all the way to about 260. You see, now it starts to back off on the power, but we're already doing 259. So now if I say it's 259, then we won't. Do you know what I mean? We're already there, so I know what I'm doing. See, we're already at 259 now, so that's how we roll. Right, plane set for the next quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. Let's have a listen. Let's just go back a little bit.
Within not only sits the lower gear leading onto the back straight, a driver decides to save more energy by staying in the lower gear and harvesting heavily through the corner. It's a deliberate, careful move, but he overdoes it. By prioritizing too much harvesting, he exits the corner slower than usual. The driver
But he's got
behind
more
spots
power.
the
He's got
mistake
more battery power
immediately,
now.
using his energy to attack down the straight. Within seconds, he's right on the gearbox of the
Wow,
car
it's
ahead
like that anyway,
and has
though.
a huge speed advantage.
With
Not only
DRS
this
now
puts
and
the driver
slipstream.
defending at risk here, but now, because the attacker is within the detection gap, he will also have access to the manual override mode on
Okay.
the following lap. But what exactly is manual override mode? In
Good question.
2026, DRS is gone.
DRS is
Instead,
gone.
drivers
See,
will
that's
have a new
massive.
weapon.
DRS been in since 2012. So we've had, how long have we had? 14 years. Something like that. 13, 14 seasons of DRS. And that's all. That's it. Finished. Gone. Right, so what have we got instead?
Battery-based overtaking aid.
Right.
Manual override gives them an extra 0.5 megajoules of energy per lap.
Okay.
And that extra push can be the difference between getting
Oh, you
alongside
still got to be
or
within a
being
second
stuck
though,
in
the
the
car
dirty
ahead.
air.
I would
It's a
imagine.
system designed to keep overtakes unpredictable.
Right.
Unlike DRS, manual override isn't limited to specific zones.
Okay.
Drivers can use it anywhere on track. A straight,
Anywhere, what,
corner
within that
exit,
lap?
as long as they're in range to trigger it.
Okay.
And that brings us to the crucial part.
It could be better. Why is that worse? That
With
sounds
DRS,
better to me.
The rule has always been simple.
Yeah.
If you're within 1 second of the car in
Yeah.
front,
Then the next
you
straight.
can open the wing within the zones.
Yeah.
In 2026, the 1 second rule is gone.
Okay.
The FIA will now set a custom detection map for
Okay,
every single
okay.
track.
This is better.
Sometimes bigger,
Sometimes bigger,
smaller,
sometimes it's
depending
better.
on how
All right, it's
easy
more
or how
complicated for the
difficult
casual
overtaking
fan.
normally is.
All right,
That
it's
means
all
at
right.
a track
All
like
right, it's
Singapore-
more complicated for your fan that's might switch it on a Sunday afternoon, might watch it, might flick to the football. The people that take it or leave it, it's more complicated for them. But for the hardcore fans that will understand it before the season even starts, like me, this is better. And then the casual fan, they might not understand it. If it produces better racing, then they'll watch anyway. So they're going to be reading the rule book. No, they're not. But if it's more exciting race, this sounds better to me. Why is it always doom and gloom? Oh, F1 2026 rules. The amount of headlines and videos I've seen, it's all been negative. It's all been, how 2026 is going to ruin F1. How 2026 is going to be the end of F1. The 2026 rules are going to destroy racing. The 2026 rules could make it more dangerous. Bro, chill out, man. This sounds better to me. Let me go back a minute. So yeah, so it used to be when you're within 1 second of the car in front.
Manual override isn't limited to specific zones.
That's better.
Drivers can use it anywhere on track.
Well, that's better because then you could surprise someone and go for a lunge in a corner where you never see overtakes, and it's gonna be a game of chess where they're gonna be thinking, well, right now with DRS, let's say it's one straight. Sometimes it's two or three straights or whatever, but let's say it's like the main pit straight, right? The guy behind you's got DRS. You're going to use all your battery to defend it because you know that there's that one overtake. On a lot of tracks, you've got that one overtaking opportunity, perhaps down at turn 1, for example. So, you look in your mirrors, you've got someone right on your gearbox coming out of the final corner. You know he's got DRS. So you've probably been saving your battery up for the lap anyway because you know that you're under pressure. So so he's got DRS and slipstream. You have got your battery. And so you're going to use that to defend. And it's all in that one straight. So you know that the move... And if he doesn't get the move done in turn 1, you're probably all right for the rest of the lap because it might be a tight, twisty middle sector, so on and so forth, and then you survive another lap. This makes it so the driver behind might think, well, I won't use it here. I'll use it down into turn 3. I'll use it down into turn 7, where he's not. I'll use it down into turn 9. So we're going to get overtakes in different parts of the circuit that you wouldn't normally see. This sounds better to me.
A straight, a corner exit,
Yeah.
as long as they're in range to trigger it.
Right.
And that brings us to the crucial part, the detection gap.
Detection
With
gap.
DRS, the rule has always been
Yeah,
simple.
second.
If you're within 1 second of the car in front, you can open the wing within the zones.
Yeah.
In 2026, the 1 second rule is gone.
Good.
The FIA will now set
This
a
is
custom
good,
detection
this is
gap
better.
for every single track. Sometimes bigger,
Yeah.
sometimes smaller.
Yeah.
Depending on how easy or how difficult the overtaking normally is.
Exactly. So it's somewhere like Singapore or Monaco, you're going to put that. You could be within 2 seconds and you get it. Whereas if a track that's really easy to overtake, like the example he's got there is Brazil. Yeah. Then maybe down upwards to turn 1 at Brazil. It's so easy that you could say, right, you got to be within half a second. Yeah. This is better. This is all right. It's more complicated for the casual fan. It's better.
That means
Carry on.
at a track like Singapore
Yeah.
or Zandvoort,
Yeah.
where passing has always been tricky,
Yeah.
the FIA might give drivers a bigger window.
Yes.
But at power circuits like Spielberg, the gap
Yeah,
could
be
shrink,
smaller.
making the overtaking harder.
Better.
And this is where things get dangerous.
Why?
Because if the FIA gets the calculation wrong, racing could either become completely
Well, this is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing, right? So they are going to get it wrong in 2026 on some tracks. But then they'll learn from that. In 2027 will be better. 2028, they'll have ironed it all out. So, yeah, 2026, there might be some tracks where they've got it wrong and the overtaking becomes an absolute breeze. Too easy, right? I get that. There's going to be a year of ironing that out. I get that.
existent or far too easy.
Yeah.
Let's take Zandvoort as an example.
Okay.
At Zandvoort, overtaking has always been difficult. Tight
Yeah, you
corners.
basically got down into turn one, that's it, yeah. Or maybe into the chicane, but not
narrow
really.
track. But under the new regulations, there's a new twist.
Okay.
If the FIA decides to allow a larger detection gap for manual override here,
Yeah,
drivers will be able to deploy their extra energy much earlier.
right.
That means a chasing car close-up significantly on the round down to
So what's he doing? Complaining about more overtaking? So get in.
1. Setting up a rare overtaking
Right.
opportunity. However, if the FIA sets the gap too small, drivers might not get the boost early enough.
Well, they'll have
leaving
to.
them stuck
Well,
in the dirty air,
these people know what they're
making
doing.
overtakes nearly impossible. At a circuit like Zandvoort, that could turn the racing into complete boredom.
What, like it is now? So worst case scenario, it's like it is now. I wouldn't worry.
Finally, let's talk Spielberg. Right now, the drivers often use DRS on the start-finish straight to close in on the car ahead.
Yeah.
Then rely on another DRS zone into turn 3 to
Yeah.
set up an overtake.
Yeah.
But with manual override mode, everything changes.
Right.
The chasing driver can now choose to deploy extra energy earlier on the straight, setting up a stronger attack into turn 3. The
Right.
defending driver, anticipating the move, might hold on to his override and counterattack down the next straight.
That sounds better.
4. In theory, this could create multi-corner battles
Right.
without the reliance on fixed DRS zones, but only if the FIA gets the detection gap right.
Well, that's it. That's it. They've got to get this detection gap right, and they're not going to. I accept that. They will on some occasions. It's going to be hit and miss. Basically, it is. It's going to be hit and miss, and then what they'll do is they'll tweak it for 2027. It'll be better. You know, the mistakes that they make in 26, where they go, all right, there was no overtaking there because the detection gap was too short, whatever. Then they'll tweak it, won't they?
Too big and the overtakes become automatic. Too small and the cars won't be able to close in
Right,
at
but
all.
this is things they'll just learn, won't they? It's just learning.
F1 already has a reputation for management. Tires, fuel, engine
Yeah.
temperatures. But in 2026,
And there's
energy
battery.
will dominate
Yeah,
everything.
it will, yeah.
Fans could see
It
more
will, I
phantom
accept that.
overtake where a pass happens not because a driver braked later or carried
Yeah,
more speed,
it's because it all
but
to do with the
other
battery.
guy simply ran out of power.
Well, that's his own fault then, isn't it? That's his own fault. If he's not managed his battery well, he's ran out of power, and the other guy has managed his battery better and gets and has the power to overtake him. Well, that's part of the game, isn't it? There's still Formula One. You've got to adapt to the rules. You've got to adapt to the tools that you've been given. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, that's not Formula One anymore because he used his battery and the other one didn't. Well, they both got the battery, haven't they? You know what I mean? Like I said at the beginning, they're all in the same boat here. It's not that you've got one person at the front with no fucking battery and 19 of them unlimited. You know, everyone's in the same boat. So it is going to be who's smarter with it. It's just going to become another tool, another skill that they've got to master. You know, it's not just about you know, who breaks later and who's braver. It is going to be a lot of emphasis on battery management. Yeah, there is, but what are you going to do? This is the way the world's got to go. They have to do this. This is the thing. What people, you know, people can say, oh, bring back V8s, bring back V10s. They can't do that. They have to do this. They have to go down this road. You have to accept that this has to be the future. They can't just go, oh, bollocks to everything. Let's just do V8s, because you're going to get Renault going, well, this isn't relevant to our car. You're going to get Mercedes going, this isn't relevant to our road car projects. You're going to get McLaren going, this isn't relevant to our road car project. You know what I mean? Ferrari, this isn't relevant to our... So what are you going to be left with? You're going to be left with, like, Williams going, well, all right, then we're an F1 team and only an F1 team. Crack on. Or, you know, a team, you know, maybe like Red Bull, where they, well, even they're going to be teamed up with Ford, and Ford are going to be thinking, you know, you need this hybrid stuff. I don't back full electric. They'll never do that. They'll never do that, because then the fans will just implode, and they know not to go full electric, but it's going to have to be hybrid. And this is just the situation that it is. And they'll tweak it, they'll make it, 2026 might be a learning year where they're messing about with how big this zone is. You know, it is going to be a learning curve, but listen, this is the world we live in. You've got to accept that.
Safety adds another layer. Imagine at Spas Eau Rouge,
Right.
2 cars flat out.
Right.
One loses battery mid-corner, dropping 350 kilowatts instantly.
Wow.
The speed delta could be catastrophic if the FIA
Catastrophic's extreme, innit? Catastrophic's an extreme word. Right. So
what?
So in this hypothetical scenario,
At Spas Eau Rouge,
right?
2 cars flat out.
Yeah.
One loses battery mid-corner, dropping 350 kilowatts instantly.
Right.
The speed delta could be catastrophic if the FIA's ramp down systems fail.
It's a hypothetical that likely won't happen. I get where he's coming from. Oh, we start the descent in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to keep an eye on that, actually. Keep an eye on that. Yeah. I see the concern, but I think they're going to be smarter than that. You know, I think the drivers are going to be smarter than that, not to run out of battery before you get to Eau Rouge. You know, when you've got the Kemmel straight at the top, you're not going to be using all your juice out of the sauce, and then by the time you get to Eau Rouge, you're done for. And you're just not going to do that, because you all got to play the management game, all of them. So that hypothetical is, whilst it sounds dodgy, it's not going to happen.
Energy management won't just test the cars.
Right.
It will test the drivers' brains like never before.
Yeah, because they're going to be thinking about the racing, but then they're going to be thinking about the battery a lot more than they are now. Yeah.
Drivers mostly focus on racing lines, making points.
Well, they still
and
will
tire
be.
degradation. But in 2026, they'll need to think like engineers while driving at 320 kilometers an hour.
They already do anyway.
Williams driver Alex Albon has already warned us about this. Quote, let's say a driver who's quite smart can understand the system and abuse the system. They're going to find performance in that much more than now.
Well, then, then catch up. Then he's going to be king, isn't he? You know, the driver that figures it out and uses it in the best way. Well, you have to adapt. I'm sorry. You have to adapt, and if you're slow to adapt, or you don't want to adapt, or you're a hardcore racer who doesn't give a damn about the technology, then you're going to lose and you're going to be gone. And it's as simple as that. You know, Albon makes a good point. The driver that's smart and manages it well and uses it in the best way is going to win. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And what? And what? You're going to have to do the same, bro. You're going to have to do the same.
Translation, the fastest driver might not be one of the most skilled behind the wheel, but the one who's best at gaming the system.
Yes. And what? And what? That's going to be part of the game. And if you're not up for the game, you're in the wrong category, bruv. This is Formula One. This is the top tier. What do you think it's going to be? Easy. Oh, just get in the car and drive it. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about no technology. accelerator, brake, steering wheel, go. No. You want that? Get in NASCAR. You want that? Get in NASCAR. You just go around in circles with your foot to the floor and turn left every now and then. You want that? You're in the... This is Formula One. Who do you think? You're going to have a brain as well. Egg fucking exactly. Descent is now, bruv. And the descent has begun into Abuja.
This raises a bigger philosophical question.
Okay.
Should Formula One be about who drives the fastest, or
Yes. With the rule set. Because, listen, there's always... Different rule sets have always favoured different drivers. Anyway, throughout history, you know, there might have been a driver like before I was born. There might have been a driver who was mint with the V6 turbos, and then they went to V10 naturally aspirated, and all of a sudden it's changed the game. And all of a sudden, Alan Prost, who might have been a master at managing the turbo lag out of a corner with a twin turbo in the 80s, all of a sudden, in the early 90s, bang, oh, we're V12s now. All of a sudden, Alan Prost might have gone, well, yeah, you know, it's not really for me. Well, let someone else take the reins then. Everyone throughout history, there's always been drivers who've got strengths and weaknesses in different areas. And so you might see someone rise to the top who's not been at the top. You know, you might see someone like an old wise head like a Nico Hulkenberg who might relish this, who might think, right, I've always been a bit smarter with my battery deployment. Right, okay, he's going to be top 6 when he's 15th now. Right, and you might get someone who's at the front, maybe Oscar Piastri, for example. He might be more simple. He might be more, I don't know that, but as an example, he might be more simple where it's just hard race and he's not really thinking about his battery management. So he might win a race now, not really concerned about battery and whatever. He's just giving it full beans all way. Right, brilliant. That might work now. It might not work next year. So you have got to be clever with it. And if you're not clever with it, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be gone. And you're going to be going around NASCAR and going around in circles at 230 mile an hour for the whole thing. Foot to the floor. Foot buried to the footwell. Well, you do that then. You've got to be smart in this game. So, should Formula One be about who drives the fastest? It still will be in qualifying. I assume they're going to just like unlimit the battery, whatever. It's going to be full beans in qualifying still. So you're still going to have that qualifying who sets the fastest lap, all guns blazing, starts on pole position, right? In the race, you've got to be smart, but you have to be now smart. You can't just, you know, this isn't a brand new thing. It's just turned up a notch. This isn't a brand new thing. It's not like now there's no technology and it's just all out raw racing now. And then next year, all of a sudden, this battery, this technology. No, it's been slowly ebbing this way for the past 15 years. So this is just the next level up. So it's about who's the best with the current tools and the current regulations. It's a full package. It's a full package of, yes, you got to be the last of the late breakers. Yes, you got to be the best at racecraft. Yes, you got to be great on a Saturday in qualifying when the pressure's on. You got to get that perfect lap. And yes, you're going to have to be clever. And they'll work out before the race even starts. They'll work out. They'll have plans where, right, use the battery here in defence, use the battery here in attack, and they'll plan it all out. And you're going to have to be smart with it. And Formula One's the full package. It's not just a simple, brute, brawn and no brains, fucking let's have a go. Formula One's much more, there's much more aspects to it than that. And if you're not game for that, you're in the wrong, you know, why is Verstappen paid £1 million a week? Because he's the full package in any scenario. Why is Hamilton on £1 million a week? Because he's won 7 championships, because he's been the full package. Whether he is now is up for debate. But He's earned that through years and years of not just being the brute without the brains. He's had to think his way through championships. Always. And this is just turned up a notch. And if you haven't got the brains to go with the speed, well, you're going to be left behind. And you're going to have to change category. And it's as simple as that. And Formula One's always been like that.
Or who manages energy the best?
A combination. So should Formula One be about who drives the fastest? Well, it's going to be a combination.
This raises a bigger philosophical question. Should Formula One be about who drives the fastest?
Yes.
Or who manages energy the best?
Both. Both. And it's been both. It's been both. But it's putting more emphasis on the second part now. So be it. So be it. That's not an issue as far as I'm concerned. Right, anyway, I'll think about landing the plane. But, yeah, there you go. If the FIA nails Israel, let's just see the conclusion of this.
If the FIA nails these rules,
Yeah.
we could see the most strategic, dynamic racing in history.
Right.
Energy battles, surprise comebacks, unpredictable.
And I'm not expecting that straight away. I'm not expecting round 1 Australia 2026. They've nailed it and it's the best season of all time. No. There's going to be a learning phase. There's definitely going to be a learning phase where, all right, they get the detection points wrong and it's too short, it's too long, and people are, especially in the first few races, people are going to be running out of battery power. There is going to be a learning curve to it. I have no doubt about that. There is going to be a learning curve to it. In the first few races of 26, it's going to be, you might get some unusual results with someone who's managed the battery better than others. And then they'll learn and they'll all catch up. And by mid-season, the FIA will have a better grasp on what distances to put. And certainly by 2027, they'll have ironed most of it out and it will be better.
Winners. If they get it wrong, we could end up with confusing artificial racing, where battery levels, not driving talent.
Why is that artificial, though? This is part of the game. That's not artificial. This is part of the game. It's a tool that you have to use in a smart way. It's not artificial. Artificial is fucking team orders where they say, right, let your teammate through. That's artificial. Where they say, oh, you can't, papaya rules. Lando Norris has had a slow pit stop, so you got to let him through. That's artificial. Using your battery in a smart way is not artificial. It's part of the game. Thank you.
And if you want to dive even deeper into what's coming,
Yeah.
we've got a whole series breaking down the 2026 change.
Well, there you go. That's my thoughts on it. Anyway, we're under 20,000 feet, so I'll concentrate on the plane. But there you go. That's my 2 pence worth, or 3 pence worth, or 10 quid's worth, or 100 quid's worth. Anyway, right, we've got some bit of a. It's getting a bit hilly, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Right, let's have a look now. We need to start concentrating on this. So again, with no ILS, I'm going to have to come out slightly to there and then in like that. I think the runways at this, not so much at that angle, but like the here. Right, let's zoom in a bit. Yeah, I think once we get to about there, I'm going to come out around here, which is over some hills. I don't know if I go as far as mountains, but yeah, we've got some got a bit of terrain to deal with for the first time. Maybe in the African leg as a whole, we've got a bit of terrain to deal with in Nigeria. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll at about this point here, I'll come across slightly. I don't need to go too extreme with it. Maybe to about there, and then in like that. Yeah. So the flight path doesn't line up perfectly with the runway, but it's not a million miles away. Let's turn up the game audio a little bit. But yeah, in conclusion, listen, the battery management is going to be important next year, without a doubt. And if you're not up for it, then you're in the wrong game. There you go. And the route, I mean, that that hypothetical scenario about them running out of battery before they get to Eau Rouge and it getting dangerous. They'll think of that. That'll be all part of, you know. They'll know about that. Right, under 13. Let's yeah. All good so far, coming down. What time are we on? 10 to, yeah. Yeah, could you be being down on the ground next 10 minutes really? Come on. We should be down the ground in about 10 minutes. Right, coming under 10,000 feet now, so I'll get the lights on for landing. Okay. We'll let it settle at 7 and then we'll get autopilot off, I think. In fact, what I might do is I might follow the flight plan in further. Don't need to do a big swerve. I think we're near enough lined up with it, you know. I don't think I need to do a big deviation here. Let's just follow it in. And then I can turn at the end, can't I? Yeah, I don't need to. I'll just follow it in. Let's just cruise at 7 for a minute. Let's have a look at this. I'm worried about going down to 3. I don't like that hill there. And the runway's literally on the other side of it. Could do with sweeping round that hill actually. Potentially. Yeah. I will do that, you know, actually. I will do that, 5,000 feet. It's not a bad idea, that, actually, and I don't usually listen to them, but you know what? I will. 5,000 feet ain't going to put me in that hill, is it? 3,000 might. No, I don't think it would, but 5,000 feet ain't going to put me in that hill, is it? Can't see the runway yet, but I don't really expect it.
3,600 feet, keep speed not above 200 knots F195, 19 or 5.
Start slowing it down in a minute as well. Right, let's have a look what we're doing here. We're going round this hill or...
F195, 19 or 5, you are 17 miles southwest of Abuja. Contact Abuja Tower on 118.9 when inbound.
Tower on 118.9 or F195, 19 or 5. Abuja Tower F195, 19 or 5, 16 miles southwest inbound, RW
Right, I'll take an autopilot off. Let's get landing gear down. Right, where is it? Is that it there? I think I can see the runway over there. Yeah, I didn't need to do a massive deviation for this, did I? Yeah, I'm pretty certain I can see it there. I'm pretty certain I can see it. Just cruise it in. We're pretty much at landing speed, so quite happy with this, to be honest. And I'm 99% sure I can see the runway now there. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't need to do a massive deviation, did I? The flight plan was pretty much lined up with the runway, so no dramas. Just a slight turn to the north and we're in. Cleared to land, thank God for that. I wasn't going to do it otherwise. I wonder how many times I've not been cleared to land and just set it down anyway. Probably half the time. No need to panic. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. Cabin crew seats for landing. Get your seatbelts on. And that is how it's done. That is how it's done. Down on the ground. Flight 87 is complete. If you have enjoyed flying with us today, please do drop a like and get the bell icon to receive. Hit the bell icon to receive all notifications on future flights of this flawless 195 World Tour. Ooh, we've even got a bit of a Look at this, is the biggest airport we've been to for a long time, actually. Look at this. We've got an actual airport terminal that looks like an airport terminal. We've got actual, like, gates, you know what I mean? When was the last time we seen an airport like this? It's been a good while, hasn't it? Yeah, this is the biggest airport we've been to in a long time. Let's swerve in. Where's the next flight to? Is a good question. Cameroon? Oh, get your turn on. Get your turn on. Yeah, I think we're going to Cameroon next. So get the bell icon on where we're gonna park up here. I'm happy just parking up here, to be honest. I ain't got time to mess about today. But we are down on the ground. It's bang on 1 o'clock as well, so I've got to go. This'll do, yeah. This'll do. Listen, I know we haven't got a bridge or anything. Where's he going? All right. Yeah, that'll do us. Flight 87. How we doing, mate? I don't need any fuel. We've still got 44% fuel, mate. We're all right. I'll see you later. Right. There you go. Flight 87 is complete. Let's. You can unfasten your seatbelts if you want, if you're feeling brave. Right. So it predicted 50 minutes. All right. It's been about that. No. There you are. 51 minutes and 20 seconds. DBBB to DNAA. In fact, let me write that down because I haven't. DNAA. There you go. What more to say? We are down in Abuja. What's the airport called? I've got it written down here somewhere. Oh, Nnamdi Azikiwe International. That's where we are right now. Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport welcomes Flawless 195 World Tour. That's about it. I've had a bit of a rant about the new Formula One regulations. Well, I haven't. I think it's quite good. But everyone seems to be massively disappointed with it. But anyway, it is what it is. We are down the ground a minute and 20 seconds slower than predicted. But no, everything smooth, everything nice. Descent was good. Coming around the hill wasn't too big of an issue. Weather was clear, not a breath of wind. Sat it down nicely. That has been Flight 87. Join me for the next one. I've been Captain Wilson. This is Flawless 195, and the World Tour continues. Thank you. See you next time.